Pencils down, it's testing time in Central Texas, and for the first time, students are taking the state's new STAR test.
New at 6, KXAN News uncovers the cost and controversy surrounding these new tests. KXAN's education reporter Aaron Cargile has been adding up the numbers and is live in the studio now with this special investigation.
Well, good evening. This year's price tag for state testing is just shy of $90 million, and that figure will increase each year of the state's 5-year contract. And local superintendents tell me they're also worried.
Money is likely the last thing on students' minds as they pore over test booklets this spring. But the rising costs surrounding state exams has been a big talker among testing critics.
This has become a moneymaker.
You don't have to be a mathematician to figure out testing 3 million Texas students a year isn't cheap.
The overall cost is a large number. There's no doubt about it.
KXAN News has uncovered that the state is spending more than $89 million on testing this year alone. That's nearly doubled in the last 10 years. Every penny goes to Pearson, a company that creates the test questions, prints, distributes, and scores the exams, then sends them back to 8,000 schools. The 5-year contract that covers the 2010 through 2015 school years totals just over $468 million, and the annual cost goes up each year. In 2015, standardized testing will set the state back nearly $100 million. The Texas Education Agency says that big number boils down to just $5 to $7 per student.
We keep growing the number of students and we keep increasing the number of tests, so the costs keep rising.
The question really is, do we want to know how our students are doing? Is it worth it to know? I think it is. This is when No Child Left Behind was signed.
Sandy Kress, a former education advisor to President George W. Bush and Governor Rick Perry, helped develop the state testing accountability system passed by state lawmakers 20 years ago.
What this new system the legislature's put in place requires is that we know year to year, mom, dad, the taxpayer, know year to year whether the student is on the path to having that capacity to get a good job.
But local districts already strapped for cash say the money spent on testing alone is mounting. The Hayes Consolidated Independent School District gave us a rare look inside Lehman High School in Kyle. Counselors pulled away from their daily duties were sharpening pencils, counting calculators, and making sure hundreds of answer sheets, test booklets, and seating charts were accounted for. A senior English teacher was taken out of her classroom all week to help test special needs students.
Instead of those teachers being in the classroom teaching their students all day long, we actually hire subs to come in and teach their classes so that they could administer tests in small groups.
The superintendent expects bigger bills down the road.
I had a principal tell me today that the campus test coordinating position that used to be a stipend position in all our campuses now really needs to be almost a full-time position in the springtime because of the demands of delivering all of these different assessments to these students.
And they're not alone. The Round Rock School District is adding a full-time testing coordinator at all 5 high school campuses at $50,000 each. Districts are also bracing for higher summer school expenses to help students who don't do well on the new test. Kress questions whether all that's really necessary and says the education agency could help districts come up with less costly solutions.
Could it be done more efficiently? I bet it could be. But to have an assessment so that parents can know, I think that's absolutely worth every dollar.
And it would take legislative and congressional action to change the amount of tests and drive down the cost. Robert?
And just to backtrack a little bit, the legislature cut $5 billion from education last session. That led to teacher layoffs and larger class sizes.
Well, that's exactly right, and that's an argument that testing critics make. They say the state is choosing testing over teachers, but, you know, this is not just about money. Tonight at 10, we are going to look at this testing factory culture that teachers say is taking over in schools, and also the penalties that are associated with the parents who are intentionally keeping their kids out of class on testing day.
A hot topic for parents around Texas. Thank you very much, Aaron.